So therefore, I submit to you that we must move from simply building projects to managing assets, and from managing assets to creating sustainable infrastructure value. But making such a shift requires the correct institutional design.
For the stakeholders, the real test of Ramco will not be the launch ceremony, but whether renewable energy projects remain operational, financially sustainable, and continue delivering reliable power to Nigerians years after commissioning.
Well, the federal government has raised 7.62 trillion naira from domestic bonds market between January and August 2026 as it continues to tap the fixed income market to finance its budget and other fiscal obligations. The funds were raised through 8 federal government of Nigeria's bond auctions conducted by the Debt Management Office. During the period, the latest figure highlights the growing importance of domestic borrowing in meeting government's financing requirements amidst a projected budget deficit of about 31.5 trillion naira. At the August bond auction, the DMO allotted 805 billion naira through competitive bids across the January 10, 2035 and April 2037 and June 2038 instruments. Well, joining me live on the news at 10 is Mr. Ambrose Omoridion, is a CRO at Invest Data Consulting Limited. He joins me for the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10. Seems like government is doing pretty well with its bond auctions. Tell us what is playing out and the level of confidence in the market. Mr. Ambrose, can you hear me? Good evening, Mr. Ambrose. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I was asking you about the performance of bonds being auctioned by government. Seems to be doing pretty well. What do you make of that and the oversubscription that we normally witness during the process?
Yeah, actually, every investor or market player has different investment objective. For me, the mood and also the way that the government bond is coming is also very attractive for those that are low income, earners. Now they have 3 quarters that they pay, investors in 3 ways, and those local that are low income, sorry, that can earn about 5,000 are still participating in this government bond. For me, it's a good one. Also, it shows that the investor has confidence in Nigeria government. That's the only thing, because we have seen in Ghana where government bond was fake, but here in Nigeria we have seen consistently all the years till now. We have been see that our bonds have been well managed and investors have not been disappointed anytime. That also boosts confidence to see this kind of oversubscription, so that yes, the yield also is high. And don't forget that with this, fixed deposit or bond, the government is also overcrowding the market, affecting, ordinary, businessmen in Nigeria. I mean, the risk sector. For I believe that even government through bonds are also making the market or the financial market difficult for those, public sector or private sector to have access to funds. I believe that with this high yield we are seeing in bond, then to borrow from the financial market become a problem. But government should know that in anywhere in the world, it is private sector that support economic world expansion, not only government. Because if government is dominating the market, it becomes a problem. That means government also know their way to draw the line so that they'll give access to what to the risk sector also to expand.
All right, then let's look at the market's performance now as we wrap up this. Take us through what's playing out, the flip-flop that we've seen around the market. What are your projections as we wrap up the month of August?
For me, I'm not surprised. Like I said, is it on Monday that yes, the market, looking down at this point is not something that investors should worry about, because it's expected that market have, kind of return almost 60% year to day before starting this pullback, and now around 50 something. For me, it's still very heady market. The only thing we are seeing that the pullback is an opportunity that sector rotation has continued in the market, profit taking as part of the market. That means every investor playing Nigeria market today should also go forward for value. I believe that once the election come and go, we're going to see a real rally in the market. But because companies on the exchange are still posting very impressive numbers that will support price on the long run, investors should pay into that situation.